Hey everyone, my name's Nate. Those of you that have been following along for a while will know that I was living out of a Honda Element for the past 3 years, traveling all around the United States and documenting that experience here on this YouTube channel. I did recently purchase this new Nissan NV200 though as a slightly larger upgrade to my Element, and I want to show you guys around. My new van here is a 2018 Nissan NV200. It is the S trim, so just the base trim. Doesn't really have any crazy features or anything like that. It doesn't even have cruise control, but from the outside, it looks a lot like a standard compact cargo van. It is in that class, the minivan compact cargo van class, similar to the Ford Transit Connect or the ProMaster City, and it kind of just looks like a basic white van, and that's exactly what I was going for. Really, the only thing that is noticeably different about this NV200 when compared to other NV200s on the street is the top part, and I guess that's because it has an entirely new roof on it. I had a giant hole cut in the old roof, and then GTRV, a company based out of Northern California, installed this fiberglass top here, which also features a pop-top mechanism. That's what they do, they specialize in it. I definitely recommend them. I'm going to put a link in the description below to their website so you guys can check them out a little bit more, and they did a really awesome job with the pop-top install here. That basically allows for an upper bunk so I can have a second bed upstairs, and then I can also use it obviously for standing room inside the van when I'm in there hanging out or cooking or camping or whatever I may be doing. I'm going to go into more detail about the pop top though a little bit later in this video. As you can see on top, I have a roof rack mounted as well. That is just like a basic no-name roof rack for Nissan NV200s. I got it off of Amazon. A lot of the stuff that I used in this build I bought on Amazon, so I'm going to put links in the description below to all the different products that I use so you guys can check them out. And basically the roof rack is to hold my surfboard here, and then it has my solar panel on the left here, and that solar panel is a 175 watt rigid panel, and it's been working out really well so far. And towards the back of the roof here, I also have a Max fan, a Max Air Fan Deluxe here. It is not the highest level Max fan, it's the one slightly below that, so it doesn't have like the climate control features with the remote and the automatic lifter that opens and closes the vent here, but I could do it manually, and I just kind of chose that instead of the automatic one because I guess I kind of thought that it would be better over time. It would have less problems, less things to worry about breaking and going bad, but so far so good with it. I'm definitely pretty happy with it. It is night and day compared to living in the Element like I was before with no ventilation at all. Alright, I think it's time to take a look inside here. The cockpit area, the front of the van, I try to keep it looking pretty basic overall. I want it to look like any other cargo van, so I don't really put anything in there. There's not really a whole lot to look at, but I should talk a little bit about the curtain that I use to divide the front from the back. What I did was basically just get blackout curtains here from Walmart, pretty basic blackout curtains, and then ran them along this curtain rod. That is a tension rod, so I was able to cut 2 small holes in the headliner, basically as close to the roof as I possibly could without obstructing it or getting in the way too much, and then I just twisted it, I guess, tightened it, loosened it, I don't know, whatever way makes it go so that there's tension, and at this point the thing is in there so well that I don't think it's ever coming out. So taking a look from the back here, my camper setup features 2 different modes. I have bed mode, which you guys can see right here, and then I have Murphy mode. Those of you who followed along on the build will know that I decided to go with a Murphy bed setup, and there's quite a few reasons why I decided to do that. You can check out that video if you want to know all the reasons, but the main one was because for the last 3 years living in the Element, I was sleeping on like a futon style cushion mattress, and it got kind of uncomfortable. I guess I kind of got sick of it. I wanted to have a real bed, a real twin size bed with a memory foam mattress that I could use to sleep on and get a comfortable night's rest every night. So that's why I decided to go with the Murphy bed. The setup and the breakdown process of the Murphy bed is also really easy. It's much easier than it was for me in the Element. I just pop it up against the wall here, use this gate latch to lock it into place, fold these 2 little legs in here for the support of the bed, and that really opens up the living space inside this van, especially for when I have the pop top up. I keep this chair stored underneath the bed along with my tabletop here, and then I have this leg that stores up against the wall over there, and that produces a nice little table desk setup for me to work at, to cook at, to do whatever I need to do. The desk setup here was another major reason why I decided to go with the Murphy bed. That was a priority for me. I wanted to have a large workstation that I could set up at, work for hours on end, editing video, doing whatever I needed to do, and be able to get it done. Whether I was in stealth mode or if I had the pop top up, I wanted to be able to sit comfortably at it and be able to work. So that was a big reason for doing this, and I've been really happy with it, guys. I've been using it pretty much every day at this point. I've also grown to really like this wall space on the underside of the Murphy bed. I could put things on it. I got a little map of San Francisco here that I recently got, and I got a little whiteboard now so I can jot down my to-do list and stuff like that while I'm working. It's kind of nice. It just adds like a little bit of a homier feel, I guess, to the inside of the van. Underneath the Murphy bed, up against the driver's side wall, I built this little storage area. That's what this white picket fence type thing is for. It's basically just a barricade to prevent the things that I have stored underneath the bed from going out into the living space and flying all around the back while I'm driving around. So I just have my little black bin there. That's got my wetsuit in it, my sporting goods, stuff like that. Same exact thing that I had in the Element. I just transferred it over to here. And then I just kind of also have this empty space here, which I haven't used yet. Right now I have my laundry in my shower bag and like my gym bag and everything like that, but otherwise it's pretty empty at this point. As you enter from the rear passenger side door here, the first thing that you're going to notice is my fridge. That is my Dometic CF18. I've had that fridge for years and years. It's the same one that I had in the Element, and so far so good with it. It is a little bit small. I think I would like to get something a little bigger, but I'm not going to do that until this one goes bad. So hopefully I'll get a couple more years out of it, and then I'll start thinking about an upgrade. My power system is not like a traditional solar system like I had in the Element. That had an AGM battery, a 100 amp hour AGM battery. I had built it all myself, that whole thing, and you know, I definitely had a lot of problems with solar systems in the Element. I know I've vlogged about it quite a bit over the past couple of years. As a result of that, I decided to go with just the Energy Kodiak for my power needs inside the new van here. Those of you who don't know, the Kodiak is basically an all-in-one solar generator. It has a 1500 watt continuous pure sine wave inverter built in. It's lithium battery based. I'm able to plug it directly into my solar panel without any issues. I can run pretty much anything that I could imagine on it, including my Instant Pot, which is what I cook with all the time. And you know, I can't say enough good things about it, guys. It has been really awesome so far. I do still have a promo code as well that is valid, a 20% discount on all products from Energy, including their new version of the Kodiak, the Energy Apex. So I'll put a link in the description below to that. It's promo code ELEMENT when you're checking out. I would definitely recommend it, guys. This thing has been so much easier than dealing with the old solar system that I had and all the different components and things going wrong and having to troubleshoot all the time. It saved me so much time, and it can do a lot more than that system ever could. On this side of the van, I have my shelving system that I built. It's nothing too complicated. It's pretty basic overall. It just has 3 layers of shelves. In the top level, I have my camera gear, and then I have my little shower caddy, a couple other things stuffed in there. The middle level is specifically for food supplies, so all of my food fits in there. I have this little basket here from Walmart that I keep my food in, and then I also have a couple of cooking supplies. I really don't have too many cooking supplies, though. I kind of keep it as basic as I can. I guess I've kind of downsized a little bit. I used to use a gas stove. I do not use a gas propane stove anymore. I now exclusively use the Instant Pot to cook, and you know, that includes the pressure cooker mode, but also the saute mode, or I can make rice in it as well. It has been really, really awesome. So that has been my main cooking source. That's basically what I do for cooking. And then the bottom level is what I use for my clothing. I have a little small shelf built in there for clothing, and I just kind of roll up all my clothes and stuff them in there. And then below that is just a bunch of random stuff. I honestly don't even know what's under there at this point. And then mounted to the side of the shelving system, I have my paper towel holder here. I also have a 12-volt fan, which basically would be used to cool things down on a hot night. Hasn't really been very hot yet, but I'll have to see how it works later in the summer. I'm sure that it'll be really nice in combination with the Max Air fan. I also have this light here from Energy. It's an Energy light. It plugs directly into the Kodiak. It is really, really bright, so I pretty much only use it if I like really need to see something, but it's kind of nice to have. And then I also also have this little basket here where I hold my little spray bottle. I know a lot of you guys will notice that I do not have a sink in here. I had a sink in the Element, I no longer have one. I just never really used it. I also got really sick of having to take out gray water. Gray water really kind of just smells. It is not too much fun to deal with. So I decided to do away with the sink altogether. I just use this little spray bottle. It's got some water in it. I have a little bit of soap here, a little bit of dish soap, and I'm able to wash out my bowl and my cup and my spoon, which that's basically all that I have anyways, and I could wash those out, rinse those out really easily, use a couple of paper towels to dry them off, and that's been working out fine. It's definitely been a lot better than dealing with having a smelly gray water tank to take care of every single week. I also built this fold-out countertop table area so I can have additional counter space in addition to the big table behind me, and that just folds up on 500-pound hinges. They're really strong hinges, and I'm able to put stuff on there as like a cutting board or whatever I need to do while I'm cooking or preparing food. And last but not least, let's talk about my favorite feature of the van and a big reason why I chose the NV200 over a lot of other vans, the pop top. It's pretty easy to pop up, actually pretty much effortless for the most part. There's two little latches right here, which you undo up in the front, which keep it down when you're driving. Undo those latches and then basically just push up on it. Once the top is popped, once the top is popped, it creates this little tent space up here, basically a second bed mode, I guess you could call it. There's windows with screens on them, so you get a nice breeze and get a nice view of the area around you. There's also a window up front as well. It doesn't have a screen, but you can look outside of it and everything like that. And I still haven't slept up here for a full night just yet, but eventually I'm gonna try it out, and I'm looking forward to it, especially being able to wake up to summer with a nice view or something like that. You can also take that top bunk though and set it aside. It's pretty easy to do, just push it up towards the front. Kind of creates a nice little storage area over there too. I can start throwing things over there if they're in the way, and then I have this entire massive space in here to be able to stand up. I don't even come close to touching the ceiling. I'm able to stand and stretch and move around, pace around, cook like this. Definitely is pretty nice. Planning to do a video in the next couple of weeks talking about why I decided to go with the NV200 over other smaller vans like the ProMaster City or the Transit Connect, or also over a much larger van. The NV200 is only a couple of feet bigger than my Element was. It's really not that much bigger inside, but I did decide to go with it for a bunch of different reasons, and I'll get into those, like I said, in one of the next videos coming up at some point in the future here. A couple of the things that I forgot to mention with the conversion inside: the walls are insulated. I did put insulation. I used a 3M Thinsulate insulation in the walls. I also lined it with a speaker carpet type carpet liner. The window areas where the windows would be have a foam XPS insulation in there, and that is also lined with that similar speaker carpet, and I used magnets to attach it to the inside of the wall, so it doesn't really do too much for insulation on the doors, but it does look a little bit nicer than if it was just a blank white space where the window otherwise would have been. I did do an entire build series a couple of months ago while I was converting the interior of the NV here, so if you want to check that out, there's definitely a lot more information about how I did the floor and the insulation, all the little details about how I actually built out the entire interior. I did everything in this van except for the pop top, obviously. Like I said, that was done by GTRV. I was just not comfortable cutting that many holes and drilling that many holes in my van, but they did an awesome job. Like I said earlier in the video, be sure to check them out. I'll put a link in the description below to their website, and I think that pretty much sums it up for this tour, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all in the next one.